Morning, everybody. I'm finally ready to get back to spinning. My wrist has recovered enough that I can pretty much live my normal life. So I thought I would work my way through the rest of the Advent calendar. I have done some spinning because, as part of my physical therapy for my wrist, I needed to do small batches here and there. So I would work, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. And I have some stuff to show you. So we left off with day 15. Coffee. Coffee is life. We need some of that. Oh, so good. All right. So we left off with day 15. Day 16 was this banana fiber. Now, honestly, this stuff is really, really hard to work with. It is very sticky and clingy, and I think the only way to spin it is going to be from the fold, and even that is going to be tricky. I've decided I really don't like banana fiber, but I will probably spin a single out of this just to use it up. So that's day 16. So day 17 was the spearmint corriedale. So I took day 17, day 18, which was this lovely tri-label nylon, and some of day 23, which is this pulled sari silk, and I combined them together to make this. So this is the spearmint corriedale, some tri-label nylon, and some pulled sari silk into a 2-ply yarn that I think turned out quite lovely. It's got little flecks of color in it. It's got a bit of sparkle in it, and it's very soft. I'm quite pleased with how this one turned out. So that was day 17, 18, and 23 because I jumped ahead. So day 20 and 21 was a begonia corriedale and a crumpet tweed. Those were the orange colors. So what I did was I applied a single or spun a single of each and then plied them together. And there's Bobo looking so cute in the background. Hey, Bobo. He just likes to be near me. So I ended up with this lovely barber pole. Now I did have some extra of the begonia left over, so I just chain plied that. That's typical. If I have some of a single left over, I just chain ply it on the end, and then I keep those and do crazy balls of yarn with them. But that's the crumpet tweed, which is the lighter color, and it's got little flecks in it, and the begonia corriedale. So that was days 20 and 21. So that takes us to day 22, which I have not spun. This is the mint fiber. I swore up and down that this fiber was silk because it has the same feel as silk. It's got a nice sheen to it. It's very beautiful. So I have this fiber. Day 24 is a humbug merino. So it's a darker, or not merino, BFL. So it's got a darker and a lighter BFL in it. And day 25 is this lovely variegated merino braid. It does have a fancy name. Hold on, I'm going to find out what the fancy name is. Harmony. So what I'm going to do, I've already started. I've just been spinning up a single of the Harmony. And then I think I'm going to do a single of the Mint, and then I'm going to apply them together because I think the Mint is going to bring an interesting color to the Harmony. So that's my plan for those. I missed a bag in here. Oh, day 19. I have some Cheviot top as well. So I have a plan for the Harmony and for the mint fiber. So I'm going to put those two together. So that leaves me having to find a plan for the Cheviot and the BFL. Now this BFL is so soft. It's amazing. Cheviot is, it's a good solid fiber, but it's not really next to the skin. I would imagine that's about, I would think a 32 micron. So we're going to grab our little bookie here. We need to pick two things to do with the Cheviot and the BFL. So I'm going to, just for fun, I'm going to grab all the cards. So some of these are just instructions for singles, instructions for all sorts of things. So we may have to pick a couple of times to get something we can actually work with. But here are all the cards from the Spinner's Book of Yard Design. I'm going to just shuffle them all up. I'll probably regret this later because then I'll want to put them all back in order. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All right, so here's all the cards. We'll let Bobo pick one. Do you want one, Bobo? Which one? This one right here. You sure? Okay. Bobo says this one. Oh, we've done that one. Okay. Let's try again, Bobo. Pick something new. Pick something new. Pick one. Pick one. That one? All right. What's that one? This is a textured cable. We didn't have much luck with our cable last time. Bobo, you're not doing very good here. Find me something new. Find me something new. Pick one. Pick one. It's like I've already picked two. Here. Pick one. No, he wants no part of this. So we'll pick one. How about a 2-color supercoil? Or a slub supercoil? We can do that. Let's do the slub supercoil. And we're going to do that with the Cheviot. Because it's a fairly strong yarn, I think that'll be really springy. And we'll get some really wicked coils out of that. All right. Pick one. Anyone. Anyone. Say when. Say when. What? This one here? A gimp yarn. Let's do a gimp yarn then with our BFL. So we need 2 singles of different sizes, and then we will apply them together. So that will be our plan for our BFL. All right, let's get spinning. So first, oh, there's a couple more cards. I need to go back in the book. Let's work with our slub supercoil. So we're going to need a core yarn, and we're going to need a wrapping ply of slub singles. So I should probably grab my plying head because I'll need that to do the supercoil portion. There's the slub supercoil. So I will grab my plying head and a core yarn, and we will get spinning that. To start, I'm going to strip down my Cheviot top because it just makes it faster to work with. And we want to do a slub yarn. We're going to, since I will probably knit with this, I'm going to spin Z and ply S. So we'll just get started here. And because we're going to supercoil it, I'm actually going to spin with a lot of twist. I do have a bit too much uptake. So I have my drag band on my smallest whirl, so it'll add quite a bit of twist. I'm doing this just on my regular head because it'll go on it fine. I just need the plying head for the plying stage. So I'm just going to get a bit of a start going on here. Now I got too little uptake. All right. Now we're going to start making slubs. So you grab a big chunk, pull it till it starts to separate. Grab a big chunk, pull until it starts to separate. So what you're looking for when you're making a slub is when you draft, take a bigger bite than you normally would. When you draft, you're looking for this thinning of the fiber, so you know you've hit the end of the staple. So once you see that, then you just slide your fingers over, let the twist in. Now the twist is going to go to the thinnest spot, so you want to make sure you've anchored both ends. This is why when you draft for a slub, where it starts to thin is where you want your twist to go, so it will catch the tail end of that staple, so it's locked in to your fiber. So till it starts to thin, draft it down. Now, it doesn't look like there's much of a slub there until you take some of the twist out, and you'll see how that'll bloom. So when we wind that on, it's actually going to thicken quite a bit. All that's happening right now is the twist is holding it flat. When we ply it the other way, a lot of that twist is going to come out and it'll poof up. So you may be thinking, well, that's not much. I should take a bigger bite. Then you're going to run into problems when you go to ply because your slubs will be way too big. So just keep them small for now. And trust me, see that one there is already fluffing a bit. It looks like there's not much fiber in there, but when you ply it, it's going to poof and you will have nice big slubs. So I'll spin up this single. When I'm done, I'll come back and we'll ply it. All right, to have my slubby boucle ready, or slubby singles ready. Got my plying head on, got my core, which is the mohair. I use mohair as a core for everything. I just find it's lovely and grippy. So we're going to S-ply, and we want to make a slubby supercoil. So what we'll do, apply some of it on, then push it all up. Then apply some of it on. So keep it at a 90-degree angle. Push it up. Push it up. I'm gonna let some of the twist out of my core so it doesn't snap. And push it up. So you can see we get these little slubs in our supercoil. Oh, there's a little. All right. Now when you're doing a supercoil, you're going to get a ton of twist in your core yarn. So I always use my little finger here to keep it from going back to the source. This really becomes about managing twist when you're doing supercoils. Oh, we're all right. The pigtail disappeared. Then just push it all up. I don't have enough uptick going on here. There we go. If you're having problems sliding your ply up, just pull harder on your core yarn to straighten it out. There you go. Now super coils can be very, very tricky because there is so much extra twist. I think I need to increase my speed here. So I'll just adjust. All right. Anytime if it gets all twisted up like this, just pull your core yarn and wiggle your wrapping yarn and it'll untangle itself and you can go back to playing. So super coils are kind of a stop and start. Until you can get the feel of it. Always put extra twist into the slubs to make sure that they're going to hold together. There we go. My uptake is really not working. Oh, that's probably because I got some coils, some slubs stuck. All right, let's go again. Oof, now I got way too much uptake. Okay. I need to tighten my drive band up a little bit more. Bobo's down there attacking my core yarn cone because he's helpful like that. He's always looking to help me. Let's hand run some of this on. And anytime your wrapping ply doesn't want to slide up, just give your core yarn a tug. This is where the importance of a good strong core yarn comes in. This mohair that I use is actually a 2-ply, I believe, so it is actually very strong. So basically you just want to cover your entire coil or your entire core with the coils. And it makes for a very, very textured yarn. Now you can see my slubs got pretty big because I didn't take my own advice about keeping them small. You know, do as I say, not do as I do. But it also allows me to show you why I say what I say. Again, just because someone says it's always been done that way doesn't mean don't try it yourself and see why. Well, now you can see why I was saying keep your slubs small, even though I didn't take my own advice. Baba, what are you eating down there? You're eating my core, you little bugger. Oh, Baba. He literally never bothers with yarn unless I'm using it. Like literally never. When he first started stealing it, I worried that he was going to be into my yarns and fibers and all that all the time. Nope. Never touches them unless I'm using them. He's a brat, but I adore him because he's very cute and he's very sweet. And all kitty cats deserve love. All right, I think we got a groove going now. Just do a couple wraps at a time and just keep pushing it up. This seems to be a good method to do this. All right, we're going to stop, hand wind that on. Now I can feel there's a ton of twist in this, so I'm going to let it pigtail, and I'm going to wrap around it, pigtail and all, and shove up. Wrap that around my hand and go again. So once you get everything set up, it becomes much easier. But now I'm thinking I'm putting in too much twist, so I'm going to decrease my speed a little bit. Hand wind this on. This is real life, folks. Things don't always work out the way you planned. So you adapt. You try something new. And if that doesn't work, then you go back to square one and try again. But I think I'm finally getting a groove going here. Just only wrap on a little bit at a time and shove it up. Even working with the slubs. Wrap a little bit on, shove it up. So keep your hand close to your core. Feed on your wrapping ply and push it up. I'm using my little finger to tension it coming off the cage. And every once in a while, take some of the twist out so your core doesn't snap. All right, so take your core, wrap it around your hand, then I'm wrapping it around my finger to make sure the twist stays where I want it. I'm using my little finger on this hand to control the ply, tension the ply, and I'm keeping my hand very close to the core. So let it wrap a couple, push it up, wrap a couple, push it up. Oops. And then every once in a while, use up the twist you're building up in your core. Yeah, basically you need to keep your ply hand right at that core. All right, so I'm refining my method here. So start with your fingers out an inch, wind that on, push it up. Out a couple inches, wind on, push that up. Well, this is working. Well, this is working quite well. Then when you get to your slubs, you can control the tension a little better. It's all about trying until you figure out what works for you. I'm starting to get a rhythm going here just by moving my fingers along the ply, feeding it on, then when my fingers hit the core, push it up. So move my fingers out, feed the ply on until my fingers hit the core, push it up. I'll use up a little bit of that twist that's building up in my core. And I have a kitty cat attacking my core yarn again because he just does not give up. Bubble, go away. I think he's telling me it's time that we played. And let's go again. Start with my hand out here, guiding it on to the core till my fingers reach, push up, push up, push up. I'm just using up the twist that's built up in my core to do that. All right, go again. Push up. push up. All right, that one went a little too far. I want to get these slubs looking good. So what if I give it a little twist as I wrap it on? Oh, look at that. That could be our missing link. Let's try it again. Get to the slub. All right, now we're going to try twisting with our fingers and then push it up. Oh, that works lovely. So basically, when you're applying, you're taking some of the twist out. So what we're doing with the slubs is putting the twist back in with our fingers as we're wrapping it around the core and then push it up. Oh, beautiful. All right, now we know how to do it. Experiment, guys. I'm telling you, you figure things out if you just try it, but you got to do it to figure it out. Don't become frustrated. Just keep trying. Let's go again. So we get to our slub. I'm twisting it towards me. As I'm letting it wrap on and then push it up. And use up the extra twist until it doesn't want to do that anymore. And then we'll go back to feeding it on. Come to a slub, spin it towards you, push it up. Come to a slub, twist it towards you as you wind it on, and then push it up. Oh, it's coming out gorgeous now. All right. Now we know the trick. I have figured you out. I am an evil genius. Well, maybe not an evil genius, but with enough playing around, we figured out some stuff. And I'm sure there's a reason for it. Someone could probably tell me a technical reason for it. Honestly, I don't care about the technical aspects of it. I just want to be able to make what I want. So I'm going to put some extra twist in that slub. Then wrap it around, push it up. Oh, it makes these beautiful little slubby coils. They're gorgeous. Look at them. It makes such a huge difference just giving it that little bit of extra twist before it wraps on. Wow, it's like freaking magic. Seriously, I'm just like, wow, that's so pretty. All right. Slub. So let's add some twist. Let it wrap on as we add extra twist and push it up. Wow, this is turning out amazing now, guys. I am so excited. I had no idea there was a secret to it. Look at that. Let's see, I want to go by. Okay, there we go. So as long as you keep your plying single at a 90-degree angle, you can slide it up and down your core yarn. If for some reason it stops sliding, that means you've lost that 90-degree angle at some point. Just pull your yarns apart, rewind it, and get that 90-degree angle back. So I like coiled yarns. When I make a slubby coil again, maybe. Now that I've kind of gotten some tips and tricks on how to do it, I might. But it is awfully finicky. So it would have to be for a very particular reason. Although it is really, really pretty. But I mean, ultimately, it's what you want to spend your time doing. If making this yarn is something you enjoy, and if the finicky isn't a chore to you and you just enjoy it, then by all means, like, do it. Do what brings you pleasure. That's what spinning should be all about. If you are a highly technical competitive spinner, good for you, because I could not stand being structured like that. But for some people, they enjoy that. And I'm all for it. I probably wouldn't do this with Cheviot again. It's pretty fuzzy. So I'm not getting like that smooth definition. Like if you did this with a merino, you wouldn't have all those little fuzzies sticking out like you do with the Cheviot, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. Could be the prep. I would have to try it with a couple of different preps to see if the fuzziness stays or if it's in a different prep it's not as fuzzy. Oop. So we're getting to the area where I was actually keeping my slubs relatively small, and you can see how much easier this is to do. So I'm going to change my opinion again and say I would make this again, but I would make sure that my slubs were teeny tiny, because they still look really cool, but it's so much easier just to give it that extra bit twist as you're winding it on to give it that definition. And they'll actually go through my hooks without catching, so I don't have to hand wind. Look it, I'm just burning through it now. Bad Tammy, not listening to yourself. All right, that's the end of our ply. So I'm going to finish wrapping this on. Now, if you just let go, all of that wrapping is going to come undone. So I'm going to push that up a bit. I want it snug because it'll slide along your core. All right. If you've never used a niddy noddy, you go over, under, over, under. I know I usually use my arms, so I just happen to have my niddy noddy handy. So I will wrap that around there and wrap. And the other way. Wow, I expected it to just go with over twist, but it's actually pretty decent. After a wash, I imagine that's going to be pretty close to balanced. But here's a close-up look. Is it perfect? No, far from. Did I learn a lot? Absolutely. Could I do it again and make a much nicer yarn? Absolutely. So by trying things, I learn. But that's another yarn spun for our advent calendar. I'm going to have to give my wrist a break now. And then we will get back at doing the blue-faced Leicester. So we want 2 different diameters. I have them spun. We will just ply them to make a gimp yarn after I give my wrist a break. So I will see you in a little bit.